to the home front. Guys, we've got a wonderful panel here today. Obviously, our Gen Z panel is in the house today. Did that just date me to the 1990s? In the house.
In the house.
In the house.
I will not comment.
Oh my gosh! Wow. My name is Michelle Posey. I'm your host, guys. We've got some fun discussion today. As we're also going to take a trip into the recording studio with Chloe Castillo. That's coming up in just a little bit, guys. I want to get started with our question of the day. Of course, we're going to put Allie on the spot first.
Always.
Okay, but here's the question:
All right.
If you could have a 1-minute conversation with yourself, would you choose the future you or the past you? And I want to know what that might sound like. Go, Allie, go.
I would choose the future me because future me would give me good advice.
Ooh. Oh, that's good.
Wisdom only you know.
Yes.
Like you.
Right.
From the future.
You wouldn't be giving your future self advice. You'd be listening to what your future self says.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Either.
I'm here all week.
Quite literally. Quite literally.
Right there in that seat all week. She doesn't leave.
Yep. All right, well, I'm Brianna, and I'm going to sound like a copycat.
Oh. The original Brie. Goodness.
You know... Excuse me?
I love you.
Okay, that's what I thought. But no, I want to like ask my future self, okay, like who do we marry? How many kids do we have? Because I want to know if I'm right. I feel like I know the type of person I'm going to marry. I know how many kids I'm going to have, but I want to know if I'm right because I love being right.
She knows what her kids look like.
She has dreams of them.
No, I do. I have dreams of them, okay? I'm not crazy. Don't put me in a psych ward, please.
Yeah. I like this. So you said your future self as well, and you're asking for their advice. Okay.
All right. Well, I would also talk to
Your
my
name.
future self. Oh, my name is Camden. Sorry.
Hi, Camden.
Sorry. I would also talk to my future self,
Yes.
but I would ask who won the next year's NBA Finals, who got MVP, and I would bet on it
Oh,
from the current time
a good
and win
one.
a bunch of money.
look at Camden making an investment.
That's such a boy's answer.
I love
It really
that.
is.
It is a boy's
It's
answer.
a boy's
That
answer.
is so smart though, because he's going to be like banking,
Oh yeah.
rolling in the dough, and we're just going
And
to be
only
like,
I would know, so no one could it wouldn't be illegal because only I knew anyway.
wow.
You know?
Mm.
You just took it up a notch.
Interesting.
Okay, I might have to rethink my answer.
Ways around the system.
Yeah.
Love that.
Finesse the system.
Good one, Camden.
Well, my
Thanks.
name is Ashley, and I'm going to talk to my past self. And the only reason I'm going to talk to my past self is to tell me to be a little bit nicer of a person in high school.
Okay.
Because that follows me around. I'm not kidding.
Really?
That's a
I-
humble answer.
Yeah, it
very
was
humble.
so bad. Like, I was...
Really? I cannot picture that.
Yeah, no.
Look at this.
So
I, cannot
I was
picture that.
so mean in high school.
Really?
Yeah, like mean. And
Interesting.
I would definitely tell myself to be a little bit nicer.
Wow.
Shame.
Change it up a little
Shame.
bit.
No, I like
cannot,
it.
I
That's
cannot
advice
even-
for all of you teenagers out there.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
nice.
check yourself.
Check yourself. I can't
me, I'm
even
the
imagine
nicest-
that. Can you imagine Ashley?
No, not at all.
I'm the
I don't know.
nicest
Maybe she's
person
got a little
alive.
mean
Yeah.
girl
I
in
couldn't
there.
imagine.
I can see it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a
I
little
don't
bit.
anymore. I'm trying not to anymore.
She's trying to be
I'm becoming a better person.
Good job.
Everybody's a work in progress. It's all good. I
Yeah.
got a little bit
Yeah.
of mean girl in me too, man.
Oh my God.
I'm the
a
nicest
little
person
bit.
alive, so I guess
You're so humble, bro.
I'm so nice. I'm the nicest person alive, so I don't need that advice.
Oh my god.
We're so
She's
nice
humble.
unless you're liberal. Then we're like, well, we're gonna listen. No, okay. That's a good one. Okay, so my name's Michelle. I'm gonna have to say the future me, but only because I want to know who wins the 2024 election.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that I know, do I need to keep stocking up on canned goods? Like, do I need a cabinet full of ivermectin? What do I need to
leave the country.
So do I need to panic?
I was gonna say you can't go too far into the future because I don't know how much time you got left, huh?
Hey, she did not just go there.
What are you?
And why are you?
You just said
the cameras there?
yeah, she just said she's the nicest person alive, and then says
And
that.
commercial break.
What are you
Well,
talking
she
about?
gets some spikes
Oh my god.
I don't think you're that old.
And I love how behind the cameras it was like, oh,
I can
that's
say
funny.
that because you're my mom.
oh yeah.
Until that time
Wow.
gets loose.
Oh my god.
gosh.
That was a good answer too.
Worried.
I like
I'm
it.
not worried.
Gosh. Oh my goodness, guys. And it's only going downhill from here if you don't know.
Here, it's okay, Mom. Look, you can borrow my chancleta. Okay, look, ready?
I'm good. So you
But
don't
take
need
it, puppy with it.
size 9. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. So I have to ask you guys, we've heard a lot in the entertainment industry that I feel like does not resemble our voices. If you look at a lot of mainstream artists, from rap to R&B to actors, actresses, a lot of them have spoken about their political beliefs, which I really hate that they do sometimes because it ruins it for me. But Amber Rose, model, just came out. She was followed by paparazzi a little bit, and they came up to her and said, you know, I hear that you're now supporting Trump. And she stood her ground. First of all, she's beautiful. So I love that she did it and just like, you know, with a smile on her face, basically saying, you know, we woke up and I like to be able to think for myself.
Wow.
And we were better under him than we are under Biden. And so I want to get your point of view as Gen Z when you think about people, even your age, influencers. Are you seeing them be political? Are they changing their mind, or is that kind of not something that you see out there?
Well, I think that people are beginning to wake up because of how much we're paying for everything.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
gas and just getting anywhere, you got to pay so much. And for me, I've noticed it a lot, and I'm sure a lot of my friends have too.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a factor. But I've also seen some like influencers our age doing that too.
Yeah.
Because of how far the left is taking their ideologies and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Who was it? Was it, I don't follow rap that much, but 50 Cent or whatever that was saying he doesn't want to be known as 25 Cent because of how much he's going to have to pay in taxes.
It's funny.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It comes down
For
to...
real, he's 50 cent, but with inflation, he's better be $1.25.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think it's good for her that she stood her ground with it. I feel like you don't see many people who do stand their ground with things. I feel like as soon as you were questioned, you just be like, oh, well, you know, and just not want to give that explanation because you don't want to cause that confrontation or possible like argument. So I feel like people kind of back down. But I do think that for her to stand her ground and tell everybody, yeah, no, this is what I'm doing, and you're not changing my mind. I mean, good for her.
And a lot of them, the celebrities, like to be politically correct, like in front of their audience, because they don't want to be like offend anybody.
Yeah, they don't want to alienate
Yeah.
part of their audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why they should keep their mouths shut, because entertainers are not leaders.
But what I
Yeah,
did
so-
like lately is Logan Paul had Donald Trump on his podcast.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, he's actually giving him a voice and letting him talk. Because before, like the year before and even 6 months before on his podcast, he was saying pretty bad things about Trump. So it's cool that he gave him a voice and a seat on the
I
podcast.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he
either.
just put out a TikTok of them like doing like this little face off.
Yeah, face off.
Which was really cool.
How
I love
likable-
that our president is on
How
TikTok.
likable
I'm
is
not even
Trump?
joking.
Yeah.
I absolutely love
And
it.
the fact that he couldn't keep the face.
I know,
he,
it's so
broke
funny.
it.
Well, and it's kind of like this inside to who he really is as a person. He is quite
He's a cool
hilarious. We do not deserve his funny. Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
we just don't deserve it. He is really funny person, but he's really down to earth too, and he's so humble. But I think too that. This is something that's very new to me, having celebrities come out and speak out politically. I remember when, you know, our votes were private. Nobody really knew who you voted for or why. But now it seems to be very overtly ever since, you know, the other side has used celebrities to like endorse their candidate to try and sway the public to like listen to your celebrities. Like we can't
Like
freaking think for
LeBron
ourselves.
James is a big example
It's
of that.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who wants to, why? Like you play basketball. You're not even politically involved. Like you probably don't even know who runs your
Right.
precinct.
It's cool that they can have a voice, but when they act like experts.
Right.
When they're not.
You are not an expert.
Like, you're-
Stay an
you're-
expert in your sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I expect them to do their patriotic duty and still vote, right? And maybe volunteer for a
Just don't
candidate.
tell me how to
but
do
when
it.
you've got somebody like, I'm sorry, Brianna, when you got somebody like Taylor Swift, all she
hate
does
her.
is talk about her bad taste in men, and she's going to tell me to vote for Biden. That is really, you know.
She's just a girl. Okay.
I do not like Taylor Swift at all.
Oh, here we go. Let's just clear the set.
See, that's where things
Cam,
get.
you're in a
just-
dangerous
I
seat.
know. I'm
Kevin
right in the
says
middle.
so.
I'm right in the middle.
Actually, do you want to come pull the knife out from my back that you just put in?
No,
Wow. No.
I don't like
I want
her.
you to feel that.
Listen, I don't agree with any of the things that she does, but her music's pretty good, especially her
Oh.
older stuff.
Yeah.
Her older
her
son.
older stuff. Okay, yeah, fine. I agree. There are some songs from her, but I won't listen to her new songs.
It's just like, no.
Just
Just
won't.
that's full stop.
Just won't do it. You know how I talk
just gonna
about being
drink
a better
my
person?
drink.
Not to her.
Cameron's like, I'm just drinking
Yeah, I'm
my
just gonna keep
Oh wait,
sipping.
what's this? Okay, the one song that she has, "Picture to Burn," she like changed the lyrics to like that's fine. You won't mind if I say you're something like that. But it used to be, that's fine. I'll tell my friends you're gay or something like that.
Oh,
That I don't agree with.
Oh.
She changed
Like,
it.
what's-
I don't know anything about
Just because
that.
it was like homophobic. Like what? Like
Oh.
so, like that. Okay.
That's a little too much for
Too
you.
much. Like it was funny. It was good, and I still sing it because it's funny.
Well, okay, this is a good point because a lot of people used to say like that's gay as a
Right.
joke.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny.
I
It
still
is
do.
funny.
It is
like
funny.
you gotta say it's funny.
Oh, yeah, it's
but
gay.
but now people get
Nah, it's gay.
people get really
We're like,
offended.
no homo. Now it's no Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy. It's still funny too.
Still.
And we're not like trying to offend anybody. It's just a joke.
It's
It's
I
funny.
don't care.
funny.
Look, it is not my responsibility. If you're offended, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, go handle that.
I think people just take it too personally.
Yeah.
They take it
Yeah.
pretty personally.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so
we've
not
lost the
sorry.
argument.
Yes.
That's, I
When
forget
people
what.
have too many only children, okay, like just only one child, they need to have more children.
So that you can-
because growing up with an
Take
older
a
brother,
joke
I
or
can take
yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a good point. And that's another thing. Stand-up comedy has really
Oh.
got dried out by a lot of this cancel culture until, like, I think you were talking on another episode, Allie, about the roast of Tom Brady. How even though some of it I maybe wouldn't agree with some of the things
So
they said,
good.
they just went gloves off.
They
right?
did.
Yeah.
On as far as comedy. So
I mean, the
Which was the
pendulum
first time
swings,
that's
right?
happened. Yeah, it does.
Pendulum
First time.
swings. If you're going to cancel people for speaking their mind and saying what they think, and then once that door's back wide open, it's game on.
yeah, it was. It
Hey,
was.
there's a pretty controversial person named Andrew Tate. You guys know him?
Andrew
Yes.
Tate,
I love him
I
because
love
he
him
says
too.
what he thinks and he
Yeah.
doesn't care what anyone says.
No,
Yeah.
well, you shouldn't care what people think about
Right.
what you think.
You don't
Yeah.
like
It's
him?
what you think.
Why don't you like him, Brianna?
Because I feel like he's just saying it to get views. He doesn't actually believe it. I don't know, maybe, but
Okay.
Maybe we should have Andrew Tate on our
I
show.
wish. I would
Andrew
love to be.
Tate, if you are watching.
And you can sit between Brianna and Camden, and we can
didn't he
just.
say that
we
he
can-
wants
we can be on-
multiple wives or something?
I don't know. I think he's funny and he has
I
some
like
he has
his-
some good points and sometimes he
what?
does exaggerate to make
Yeah.
a point on camera.
That's what I feel like. I feel like he has like really great points, and if he just didn't exaggerate to try and get views,
but
then
that's
maybe people
that's
would
why
actually like.
that's why we're talking about it right now. So you
Right,
can't
yeah,
really
that's why
argue.
he's big.
True.
That's why
Can't
he's
really
as
argue
big as
about
he
it
is.
'cause
Ooh,
that's
yeah,
why we're
point.
talking
Camden
about.
went to the truth there. That is so true.
he can't sit next to me. He'll try and steal me.
What?
I'm not. Oh my gosh, she went there. She went there. Explain to our baby girl next to you.
He tried to steal me. I'm cute.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just.
I said he
shocked that you said that.
Why?
Brianna doesn't
Are
like
you
him.
really shocked?
No, it's you.
No. Okay.
It's you. I'm not-
Moving on.
Well, I love that we're talking about the entertainment industry a bit. We've got. There's a couple artists that we were blessed to go visit at Clear Track Recording Studio in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hadass Levy and Chloe Castillo. They also have their hit out that's Country to Save, which is truth right down
so
to the
good.
lyrics.
Yep.
But we did catch up with Chloe. You know, she's young, guys. So being able to hear her take on what it's been like to be in the entertainment industry, to be a recording artist, to follow what her gut says and not just what culture says. We're going to be back with more of that and the Homefront. We'll be back right after this word. Stay tuned for more Homefront.
My name is General Mike Flynn, and I've had a chance to observe the great work of our Homefront team. These women believe in America. They strongly believe in America. So what I'd ask everybody to do is to subscribe to their show and the exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and you can subscribe at thehomefront.tv. That's thehomefront.tv. I also want you to check out my documentary where you will see how parts of our government are weaponized against the American people. This documentary has vital insights that you will need in the coming weeks and months. Get it at flynnmovie.com. That's flynnmovie.com. God bless you and God bless America.
Sounds rolling, all 3 cameras, we're good. Andy, speed. We're ready.
Is there any regrets that you have in life? I should sit here and say, yeah, I got a lot of regrets. But when I look back on my life and I understand the lives that were lost, I mean, I'm sitting here with you. And I can tell my story.
Former National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Michael Flynn pleaded guilty today to lying to the FBI.
He was one of the most respected generals in the military.
He was, by definition, the most dangerous possible person. for Donald Trump to hire.
Brilliant military career, serving 33 years.
Why was he being so elusive?
Mike Flynn told the truth and faced life in prison.
Hi guys, welcome back to the home front. Oof. The discussion alley's got to fan herself, and she's too young for that. Oh my goodness. The conversation. You guys, you got to go to the homefront.tv, get that subscription to be able to see the behind the scenes content. It's pretty fun when the cameras continue rolling during the commercial break. I want to bring on the segment that we witnessed being able to watch Chloe in the recording studio at Clear Track Studios here in Clearwater. Obviously, she's a pianist. She had the opportunity to go to Juilliard, but she chose to make music her way. And I think that's something that's really amazing to be your age and be able to make that stand. Here's a little bit of what happened in the recording studio.
Oh my gosh.
We're here. We're in the studio. This is so cool. The studio is a ton bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Same. It doesn't look this big on the outside, and it's like quite incredible to be in here.
I don't know. I think everybody wants to be a recording artist when they're in the recording studio.
I know I do. Let's go.
You and me will do it.
Yes. It'll be so exciting.
Hop on the drums real quick.
Look, you do the drums. Hey, Chloe. Hi.
How are you doing?
So good to see you.
You too.
Oh my gosh.
This is amazing.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's like we just stepped into your world, right?
This is awesome.
Well, welcome. Thank you. So, oh my gosh. So, what are you working on today in the studio?
So right now we're working on an album with Hadass Levy. She's an absolute doll, and she has the most beautiful voice in the world.
Yes.
So I am just so blessed to be working with her. We're working on an album. I think we're going to call it Country to Save.
Country to Save.
How amazing. Everyone look out for that one. It's coming your way on all platforms. Go find it when it comes out.
It's funny because sometimes when I think about music today, it's hard to find something that fits me, right?
For sure.
I either want
It's a
something that's
struggle.
heavily edited, right? Like you use the word degenerate a lot when you're describing this. A lot of artists do. The idea that we have music that's maybe not sending out a good message is like taking the country and the world by storm. So tell me what you have a heart for that. What are you trying to do?
I do.
Yeah.
So my mission, I'm starting a movement right now called Make Music Right, and the mission of the movement is to bring non-degenerate music of all genres into the forefront of American culture. And you know, I say to the forefront because honestly the mission isn't to get rid of the degenerate music that's there, although that would be wonderful in my opinion. I don't think, I am all for free speech. I don't think that it's a good thing to totally censor people, but I do think that there needs to be some kind of a standard that society holds these musicians to when creating this kind of music. Why are we letting our children be exposed to this absolute trash and garbage? The messaging in this music is so far gone. It's so, filled with leftist indoctrination and just awful values of hookup culture, and I can go on LGBTQ agenda. So my mission is just to bring basically good music back to American culture. We're not going back in time to Mozart. We're not going back to Frank Sinatra. I love Frank.
Oh, Frank is my favorite.
But the mission is just to bring new music that's with this pop vibes and whatever, but into our culture that has good values. So that's my mission.
And I feel like it used to be there because
it definitely was.
Right, and then it kind of got snuffed out, and now you're helping to pull it back full circle. I love that.
Well, so I think it's also important that we give the freedom of expression to the artists because most times the artists are bogged down by the engineers, they're bogged down by the labels, and so being able to build this new version of freedom through music, I think, is so important to have, our artists and our musicians the freedom to create whatever makes them feel good. And in turn, we all feel good when we listen to what makes them feel good too. So I think that's important. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, and something, that I found is kind of interesting that I just was talking to my mom about the other day is I think that it's interesting because people should relate to music, right? When music comes out, you want to feel something.
It's a language.
It's a language.
Touches your heart and your feelings.
I found it really amazing that so many people relate to the music that's coming out now. I'm like, why are we relating to this?
Yeah.
Are you listening to what your
Right.
You know, what are we talking about? Why are we like, oh yeah, this is my kind of thing. I'm relating to this. It's like, well then what are we creating in our society? What kind of people?
Yeah.
If this is what we are relating to. So it's like, I think that's music. Keeping an eye on what's going on in music is really a really good example of what's going on in our society and our culture.
It shapes culture.
It does.
Because
That's
music is like everybody can understand music. Everybody feels it. It it translates very well.
Music is like a love language.
It is a language
Like, if I
in
write
its
a
own
song
self.
about you, we're married, practically.
Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know that I've ever asked you what's your favorite music? Do you have a favorite artist?
Oh, favorite genre or just artist?
Oh, both.
Okay, yeah, let's do both.
So pick a genre and a favorite artist in that genre.
Okay, I'll do two then.
Okay.
So my two favorite genres are jazz, like big band, old
Oh,
style jazz.
fun.
And then classical. So I was raised on classical music and jazz. So my favorite for classical, I go with composer then, because they're not really, performers. That was a long time ago. But there's so many. I love Chopin though. That's probably one of my top.
Wow.
Chopin's really absolutely amazing.
Can you play Chopin? Do you know how to play?
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then for jazz, I think Frank Sinatra. I love Frank. So amazing. He's just the top.
Iconic.
My favorite uncle, who passed away a long time ago, I think I was like 11 or 12 when he passed away, first introduced me to Frank Sinatra. He was an art history professor at NYU. And when I came to visit New York from Oklahoma, no, I didn't meet Frank, but he introduced me to Frank's music, and it just spoke to me on a level that I cannot explain to you. And I listen to him to this day, and I think my favorite song is "I Did It My Way." I have it tattooed on me, and it's my favorite song from him. So I love that you love him.
And that's an example of like, look at the impact a song an artist had on her as a young person.
Oh, it makes me so emotional to even think about the song because it was one of his favorites too. So yeah,
it's like you hear a song sometimes and it takes you right back to where you were when you heard that, right?
Yeah.
You remember the smell, the moment, the conversation, the way you felt, the things you were thinking. Music is such an impactful thing. So
I was like 7 or 8, and my dad had like this van, and I remember he always had like a little pocket which was like Tic Tacs, and we listened to like the same 3 songs, and I was always just eating Tic Tacs like candy. And every time I listen to those songs, I can like taste the Tic Tac on my tongue.
Yeah,
it's so
that's crazy.
Weird. Oh yeah, it's amazing. And music really does have that effect. I have so many playlists that are like, I have them titled like, this was this event, this was this.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
This road trip was this, and it's like you can like feel like you're back in that place, and it's really cool.
Well, and then that's why I think having degenerate music kind of fade away a little bit
Would be nice.
Would be nice because it's affecting people on a level that I don't think many really understand. I mean, there's frequency, there's things that affect your body on a cellular level. I mean, there's science to that. So I think that is so important that we kind of change trajectory a little bit with what we're exposing ourselves to.
That's true. If you think about it, we're probably getting hugely desensitized by hearing that generation, by hearing that all the time. It's like that becomes the new norm, and then we wonder why we have issues in our culture, right?
I know. No, but when you think about it with the youth too, it's like kids, they just, they're like a sponge. They just totally they just hear everything and they take it in. They take it all in. And I think when you think about what kids are hearing and putting into their minds and their souls, it's like, why are we expecting these kids to come out on the other end producing anything better than what they're putting in?
Right.
And
that's so true.
That's good.
And like I have a friend, I think I told y'all this before, I have a friend who, her little sister came to my birthday party, and she was telling me about all this Cardi B songs that she likes to listen to, and she had the big long nails out to here, and dressed, not really like a 10-year-old should be. And it's sad because she was so young and she knew all about that music. She knew all about the lyrics, and I was like, this is something that just a couple of years ago I was just now exposed to, and I was like, whoa. And so,
Well, what you're doing is it's a movement not just in this genre that you're in, but it's also changing in the hip hop area. There are a couple of artists that are really trying to change hip hop that are like have been a part of the hip hop game way before they decided to change it, and it's really amazing that this is starting to catch on. So
I'm so thankful.
I'm
for
excited.
These guys I'm working with too. They're fabulous.
I know.
So cool.
Yes.
So much fun stuff.
It's fun.
Hadas and the whole team. It's been. So
I am gonna say
amazing.
I'm a little jealous. By the way, it's fine. It's fine.
we're all in here
It's
like,
okay. I'm extremely jealous.
Fangirl,
maybe we
it's
should start
fine.
singing. Nobody will hear us.
I'm extremely jealous, and I'm not sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I love the honesty.
Yes.
Well, you know, and I think part of what you're doing is it reminds me of sort of like a make entertainment
Great again.
kind
Yes,
of a
I
thing.
was literally just thinking that. I'm like, we need to get hats that say "Make music great again" or something like that.
That's great. Well, you have.
Don't you have something like
I
that?
have shirts.
Oh my god. Oh, well, give me one then.
Most definitely, make music great again. That's important. Yeah. Yeah, and this movement, you know, is make music right, because I think that we need to, it's kind of like, you know, we need to right the wrong that's been done.
Yeah.
We need to, you know, and then also bring it maybe a little bit to the right as far as values go. And
Clever.
You know, the thing is, too, I love this music I'm creating with these guys. We're doing a lot of America First kind of music, a lot of, you know, some Trump songs here and there.
I love it.
And it's fun, and I absolutely love it, and I think that it's extremely necessary in the times we're in right now with the election coming up, and it's very timely. But we have to make sure we're also creating music that's going to last beyond that.
Yes.
Music people can relate to, because if we're going to be honest with ourselves, people don't want to just listen to
Political
Trump rap.
music, right.
And it's fabulous, and don't get me wrong, I love it. But I think that we have to look past that into where people are going to be, and, you know, even just a year from now.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are they going to be? What are they going to be listening to? They're going to be right back to that degenerate music if we don't have something to replace it with. And so
That's
Makes
so true. I
sense.
think about even some of the music from, okay, I'm going to go back in time a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Like some of the 70s, what they were going through post-Vietnam War era.
Yeah.
Like that music now, when you listen to it to this day, you remember the things that were happening. So I think you're totally right. Absolutely. I hate to do this, but I love to do this. I want to get you to play for us if you don't
sure,
mind.
absolutely.
Yay! Can we get a live Chloe concert? Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm fangirling.
So many emotions, I can't even.
And that's what I was thinking. You get an emotional reaction with music, especially with this. It's like there was a whole journey that song went on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And oh my god.
You ever
The
seen La La
crescendo was
Land?
like the best part.
I haven't.
You haven't.
The crescendo was like the best part.
Oh,
Like
isn't
that
that
little,
fun?
yes,
It's so
it's so much
Italian
fun.
to
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. I'm
Makes me
like
feel like I'm walking in Italy.
imagining the dance, like the dance that goes with that. Oh, so beautiful.
I was gonna say it reminds me of the movie La La Land, but you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Where do you get your inspiration to write the music? I mean, where does that come from?
That's a good question.
Oh gosh, that's right now it depends on what I'm writing, you know.
Right.
So I guess whatever's on my heart at the time is what comes out. So I've never really written any classical. I've done a couple like small sections of classical. That was not mine, by the way. That wasn't the composer from Armenia, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, I love classical, but I haven't written much of it. Now for jazz, I love writing jazz. Like love songs is my thing.
Oh, we need to bring back
I
good love
love
songs.
it.
Oh,
So
good love
good.
songs. We need them.
I feel like today's love songs are real complainy, as I complain. State of music. But no, they seem like there's just not that, good.
They're not deep, and it's transactional. They're not deep at all.
Yeah, so I want to bring that back, and so
That's
I like
good.
to write that kind of stuff. And now for what I'm doing, like in the studio now, is America. It's for our country right now. So that's on my heart. So
Lovely.
Well, and we're coming up against a deadline, if you will, as far as saving our republic. I have to ask, go back to little Chloe, young Chloe. What made you want to get into classical music and playing the piano? How young were you?
I was 4.
Okay.
So I was 3 when I wanted to start, and then I started playing when I was 4. So my grandma gave me a piano. It was her piano from her house, and I always just went over and banged around on it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so I was like, I want to learn how to
most
actually
kids.
play. And Mom was like, Are you sure? Because I was so little. So I went to we found the teacher, recommended through a friend, and he interviewed me and took me on as a student when I was 4, and I just loved it. So I grew up with the Suki method for piano, which means you learn by ear.
Okay.
And so it was really fun because we had that music just in the house all day long, like we were talking about earlier, actually. So now whenever I hear those songs, that music I used to play, it's like my childhood on a soundtrack because it's just we had it in the house all day long. So it's really special.
Do you teach at all?
I do, and that's actually really cool. I teach that same method.
Do you really?
So I'm hearing all this music I used to play.
I'm bringing my babies
so
to you.
Cool. Do it, yeah,
I'm bringing my babies to you.
You should also teach me because I don't know how to.
We'll learn together. You want to learn together?
Yes.
Okay, we'll learn together.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
So
of another
Chloe,
question.
let me ask you. I imagine you're a new voter, right? Voting. So if it's okay, I want to ask some questions about how you get your information as far as current events, because it's hard. I think most people your age are probably going towards social media. Might not be the best choice, but so
it's the most uncensored.
It
just
is.
saying.
It is. So where do you get your info?
I would say, gosh, it's an array of sources. A lot from social media. I feel like it's actually somewhat more reliable than the regular news sources because at the same time, the news you're getting on those news sources, you're also getting on social media as well.
Yeah,
So
they kind of parrot
you
each
kinda
other.
you can kind of get a combination if that makes sense. So from people who are actually involved in politics, people just following their social media on campaigns and on this and that, you can hear from them like that. Then also, the media sources, all the commentators who are Daily Wire and all that kind of stuff. It's all there. So I think social media is a good place to start, and it is the most uncensored. So mainly social media, then also a little bit of just my dad saying, "Oh, Breitbart said."
Yes.
So I guess there's some of that. But then
My
also,
news source.
Also, social media is good too because you get the other side, and especially in the comment section.
Yes.
That's interesting. You get a lot of what the arguments are against whatever the post is about, and I find that really interesting to kind of compare thoughts.
That's
good.
interesting. That's
That's a very good way
good
of
to know.
going about it.
And I think so. It's important for sort of my generation to understand that too, because my gut instinct is to be like, "Don't be on social media. We're gonna lose a bunch of." But now that you said that, I think about it. I could go through the comment section because sometimes there's more to the story in there. So okay.
And you get other people's perspective too,
More
which I think is
dialogue to
important.
hear.
Yeah.
And breaking
good
news.
stuff.
You no longer have the breaking news on cable TV.
Oh, right.
It's your phone going off saying breaking news.
On social,
now.
right?
Yeah,
That's very
literally.
true.
It all says
Everything.
breaking news.
Breaking news, Chloe's in the studio. I love it. Well, I think it's nice because we have, so for our show, The Home Front, obviously panel of women, right? But we've got all different age groups. So you and Brianna share a lot in common. You're in the same age bracket.
It's so nice. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but it's so nice.
Love you too.
I wonder if you guys could speak a little bit to what the pressure is like in your generation right now to sort of save our country.
Save America.
Right? I mean,
Don't even start.
She's like, there is none. And are you seeing any pressure to get involved and save?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why do you think that is?
Well, to me, I don't want to just take over. But to me, I think my generation is so uninformed, and when they think they are informed, they're the ones that are determined to do something. It's really not pressure, I would say. It's more like they get, hey, Palestine, we need to free Gaza or whatever, all that kind of BS. Really, it's like they get so involved in such activists, which is kind of you know, a hot take coming from myself over here for Giotto in the studio creating all this political music. But seriously, my generation, I feel like they're very politically motivated but through culture, if that makes sense.
Right.
They, whatever cultural issue it is, they hop on that immediately in politics. So
Yeah.
so I see really not so much pressure coming from like y'all's generation or anything. It's more like us getting all worked up over what our celebrities or artists are telling us.
And not being very well informed.
It's so frustrating because, like, our generation, we do get involved. It's just for the wrong things. And it's like, if you just knew the truth, you'd be blown away. Yes. You'd be fighting the opposite.
Well, I'm thankful as an elder millennial that you guys are paving the way and trailblazing and being an example for your generation to kind of step up, step out on courage, and be the light in the world, be the light in the darkness. It's very much needed, and what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. So thank you.
Well, thank y'all too. I love the home front that y'all are doing this. It's so cool to have that perspective of older, adults, but that are on the great side of things.
Yeah,
I love it. But we don't want to keep you. I know you're going to be recording, so tell our viewers where they can find your music and where they can find more about you.
Yes, so the music will be out on all streaming platforms. I believe Apple, Spotify, all that kind of stuff once the album's out. And then as far as me, I'm on Instagram, classically_Chloe. And then Classically Chloe on all of their platforms.
So cute.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. It was so much fun.
I'll let you
guys.
back to your recording.
Thank you.
Don't leave me here. Hi, Homefront family. My name's Michelle. This is Allie, Demi, and Brianna. You know us. You've seen us on the show. But guess what? We have got a special way for you to see behind the scenes footage.
Oh, no.
You know that stuff that doesn't even make it on the show? It ends up on the cutting room floor. You think we're unfiltered on the show?
Oh, boy.
You should see what doesn't make it to the show. But guess what? That's only for our premium members. You have to subscribe to see that.
There's so much good content that doesn't even make it into our episodes. So you'll be able to see behind the scenes and us acting a fool.
We're always talking about, during the commercial break, oh, if only you guys could see during the commercial break. Well, now you can.
Now you can. So join in on the fun and see what we have to offer, even behind the scenes while things are cutting. We're still chatting.
And even some of the on the road, I mean, I won't tell you
oh
too much.
God.
We're in West Palm Beach today, guys. And what could possibly go wrong with us in a car with some time to kill?
You always ask that. You always ask what could go wrong, but I feel like a million things could go wrong.
Nothing went wrong. I drove. I was the driver, and not a thing went wrong.
It's a good thing it was bulletproof.
She did the holy, she held on to the
It's only for our premium members, guys. So click subscribe. You'll get to see more of the home front.
Do it.
Welcome back to the home front, guys. We were able to see Chloe in the studio. That was pretty exciting. I mean, to see somebody that young being able to talk about why she does what she does and being able to stand up for what she believes in. We have continued the discussion about Taylor Swift off camera. It's gotten kind of heated in here. But I know Brianna and Ashley have been kind of talking about what is it but with the entertainment industry that they feel the need to do these things? Like you were talking about, throwing up the devil signs at the Super Bowl. Remember?
Yeah.
So maybe it's a lot of who they surround themselves with.
I also just think it's the music industry in itself.
Yeah.
The music industry, it's like it's almost like they feel like they have to sign their souls to the devil.
Well,
and the entertainment industry.
There are a lot
itself.
of musicians that have come out and said the exact same thing.
Yeah. There's a song from that Aaron Lewis guy. I can't remember what it's called, but it literally talks about him having to sign us all the way to the devil to like become big. And I can't remember what it's
see
called.
That with Lil Nas.
I was just going to say that. You read my mind.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
It's definitely there. It's scary.
I just think it's the industry itself.
Well, and I don't think you need the industry anymore. With social media,
you can make your own.
You can explode.
Like that guy, that Anthony Oliver guy who made the music. He turned down like a $10 million record label.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
What's the other dude that's independent? Connor Price, I think his name is. He's out of like Canada. He's out of Canada.
Yeah, out of Canada.
I'm not the only one who can't talk to this coffee.
Not enough caffeine, that's for sure.
Okay.
Give it to me intravenously. I love it.
Give her some of your milk.
But yeah, so the people are able to blow up if their music is good enough and more people see it.
Especially with the social media. I'm pretty sure that Anthony Oliver guy blew up on TikTok. And that's how I found him.
Yeah.
And then now I listen to a few
Anthony
of his songs.
Swims, right? Is that his name?
Teddy Swims.
Teddy Swims.
Teddy Swims,
He's
yeah.
so
Teddy
good.
Swims.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And he blew up because he was just doing covers.
Yeah.
And his voice is just amazing.
Like butter.
I want to meet him so badly.
Yes.
I have no clue.
Ooh, let's have him on the show.
Yes!
Yeah.
Teddy!
So cool. Teddy,
Come to the front, homie.
So guys, I do want to shift the conversation a little bit because we listened to Chloe. We're kind of trying to bring in what Gen Z feels about a lot of topics. For example, music and how to make it in the industry. But I recently pulled up an article, guys, about it's never a good thing. Yeah,
Never.
Google.
Yeah.
I went to Forbes. They had an article about Gen Z and specifically how to market to Gen Z. And so in the article, Forbes said, this is what the top Fortune 500, whatever companies, this is how they target Gen Z. These are the 5 topics that Gen Z feels so strongly about. You ready to hear it?
Yeah.
These are the 5 things that they're supposed to take into consideration when selling to you. Ready?
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Mental health, LGBTQ, race and gender equality, and climate change, 4 of them. So if I want to sell you a car or I want to sell you clothing, this is what they're telling them you guys want to hear about in commercials.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when, like, Disney or, like, DreamWorks, Pixar, whatever, they, like, try and make a movie for kids, but it's like you can tell it's, like, Gen X or, like, freaking, like, boomers.
All the new movies.
Like, they try and make a Gen Z character what they think Gen Z is, and it's so cringe. It's like, please, stick to your generation.
But, yeah.
Stick to your generation.
Even in other shows now, like I just watched a new Star Wars series on Disney Plus, and it's completely
Which one? Don't spoil it.
The Acolyte. It's LGBTQ. Like there's lesbians making babies somehow.
How does that happen?
And they're
You can't do that without a man.
Right. It's all minority focused, and it's weird. But the marketing thing, I'll tell you why that's true. On social media, when you go during Pride Month, right, like June, you'll see every company, because we're on social media, change their logos to rainbow.
It's only
logos.
in America. You know that,
in
right?
our country, yeah.
Because these same companies that are on LinkedIn that go to other
you
countries,
can see the other countries, and
they
it's not
don't
like that.
have their rainbow affiliate, whatever stupid flag it is. And by the way, June is Men's Mental Health Month.
I was just going to say that, and you learned that from me, so give credit.
Yes.
Credit
Thank you, though. Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, Cam, we support your mental health.
Thank you.
Day on the 14th. So
Can we make the correlation between Men's Mental Health Month and the fact that it is Pride Month because that is a mental illness?
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Hot. Go
But you don't see any of these companies.
Send emails to Michelle at. Just kidding.
You don't see any of these companies talking about that, though.
No.
It's focused on those things, and it's almost like they're trying to divide us even more.
Right.
Because you see they're talking about race, gender, pride. Like, it's almost like they're targeting us to divide us.
Yes.
It's weird.
It's obvious. And well, first of all, you're not marginalized based on who you have sex with. So let's stop that.
Yeah, I don't care.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we even had this conversation, right? The last episode. Like, why are we introducing ourselves by who we choose to sleep with? Like this
It got pretty fun.
highly inappropriate.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm straight.
Me too.
It doesn't make any sense. We don't
Visuals,
care. We
no
don't care.
visuals, no.
We do not care.
It's like so gross.
So can I divert the conversation somewhere else?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I just thought of someone going up to me and being, hi, I like boobies.
I mean, that's pretty much what.
I mean, that's really what they're saying.
Seriously.
That's what
they're
they're
doing.
Where do you go from there? She said
Like, why
boobies.
not?
I don't even know. I'm not sure that we can recover. Oh my gosh. So funny. So I wanted to take the conversation a little bit somewhere else real quick because I also found out some information on AI. I'm scared to death of AI because I don't think there's enough parameters to control something from getting out of hand. It's just like the internet. It's like there's no controls to it. But according to Slack Workforce Lab, they did a study between for Gen Zers 18 to 25-year-olds. And they decided, this is what they came up with, that 25% more of men like AI than women. So in your age bracket, maybe men like using AI more than women. How do you feel about AI?
I'm scared of it too.
See,
I mean, I don't know about that
I think
gender
AI
thing.
is scary.
I think it's scary for everybody because of what could happen with war. Because if a country takes AI, uses it to make the president of the country say something to another country, boom, you're World War III.
Yeah.
But you're not really in favor of AI.
I think it can be used beneficially in a lot of ways, but if there's not more security with it, it can be dangerous. So I think in medicine it can help a lot.
Like boys in your age group are more likely to use AI than girls.
Efficiency.
Yeah, I don't know anything about boys versus girls with that.
Yeah,
I don't know where that gender thing.
I don't know where that came from.
So you know what I found funny about this, because there's a lot of other articles on this website, that they referred to the fact that there's boys and girls and men and women, and never said that there were, like
multiple genders.
And I think
that's
interesting. That's important to point out.
Why wouldn't you do a study?
What is a gender?
So they actually talked about
it's an identity.
You say there's 17.
You can identify as a furry.
Yes,
apparently.
That's really interesting, though. Usually,
and as a season.
Usually they would be
identify
talking
as
about
president of the United States. So
I identify as my boyfriend's wife now. So
what were you saying, Camden?
I don't even
Sorry,
remember.
that's too far. That's too far.
You said something about the fact that they refer to them as men and women.
Oh yeah, it's interesting that happens, because everywhere else on social media, when they're trying to get people's attention in our generation for some reason, they try to include everybody, so we're not thinking they're offensive or excluding.
Right.
Yeah, it's inclusive. It's weird. But it's not really inclusive, because it's just dividing us more.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Like, why even say that?
Well, it's almost like they're reaffirming their indoctrination that they've been putting you under for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
I just see why it matters. Like, if a guy uses AI more than a girl, like, I feel like everyone tries to make that statistic. Let me try that again. Statistic. Like, men are more likely to eat fried chicken than women. Like, who cares? Stop comparing guys to girls about dumb things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that really matters. I don't understand why it would be like
why they would even do a study of whether
men would use it.
You have a good point where they use just men and women, though.
And not just use men and women.
All these made up
all
genders.
the 72. What are we at? Is it 72 now? 72 different genders?
I mean, you never know.
There's 72 different ways you can identify as something.
Look,
I can't
Genesis, male and female.
Yep.
He created them. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Woo!
That's
Camden went there. Nice
That's
job.
all.
I love it. Wow. I love it. So part of the reason why I'm with Camden, part of the reason that AI kind of just scares me. We've all seen the movie I, Robot.
Oh yeah.
With Will Smith. And I remember
Minority
watching that.
Report.
Yeah. Oh yes, that one too.
What?
That's AI. Minority Report.
I mean, and Terminator, basically.
Terminator.
It's getting there.
Yeah. Yo, you're right.
Where the robot or the AI knows more than you. Oh my gosh,
did you know that the Terminator leads into the Matrix and the Matrix leads into John Wick?
Allie, stop.
What?
No.
I swear to God.
No, I did not.
Yes.
Are they all
of those movies are like connected.
Really?
Yes.
Actually, like, they made by the
How'd
same
you figure
people?
that out?
One of the producer. She did like an interview.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
I've never seen any of those.
It's wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what one would you start with first? The Terminator?
Well, I think you would start with the first movie of, I think it's what is his name? Who plays John Wick? What is his name? Give me his name. Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
He was in a movie where it was like early 80s and he was making a video game. Do you remember the name of that?
I don't remember the name
I can't remember the name of it, but I remember watching it. He kind of like got sucked into this video game, but then you watch that. And it's not Jumanji. Oh my God. But
Sucked into a video game.
But so he's like creating a video game, blah, blah, blah,
Ready
playing
Player
video
One.
games, and then kind of gets sucked into it. But, and then you go into like the Terminator. It's like, it's wild. This whole theory
cool.
around it all is so crazy.
So you guys know how we had that big breakthrough in the internet? Like,
yeah.
I wonder what that AI breakthrough is going to be, because like we didn't know how big the internet was going to be. So I wonder how far it's going to go.
Well, isn't Japan already? Is it Japan or China that already has like robotic waiters?
China has them.
China robotic waiters. It's so creepy.
You guys seen WALL-E? We're gonna end up being super lazy.
Gosh,
There's gonna be
In our recliners.
Yes, she loves WALL-E.
I don't like that movie.
You're welcome.
That movie made me so uncomfortable.
You didn't like that movie?
Well, if you look at it though, they're all fat.
Right. And they
lazy.
don't do anything.
If I
It
could
seems like that's where
popcorn
America's
chicken,
going
the
if
way
we
it's
keep going in
going.
the direction we're
Right.
going. So
They can't think for themselves.
right, they're all programmed basically. So.
I mean, bringing it back to like AI and stuff.
She's like, we're done with this.
Well, it just came in my head, so I was like, oh, I got to speak on it. You know, I've always heard about those like phone calls where like you get a phone call and it's like a mom's kid and it's like, mom, like I need help, blah, blah, blah. Like I need you to send me this amount of money. And like the parents wire it over to whatever's being like said on the phone.
Scary too.
And then you're just scammed, you know?
Password.
Right. Yeah. Or like a code word. Yeah, exactly.
The password.
And I've heard so many stories about that. And I'm just like, could you imagine like if my mom got a phone call, think it was, I'm not thinking about, like, I don't think, if I were to get a phone call and it was like my kid or something, I don't have a kid, but if it was my kid or something, I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to get my kid out of whatever situation they're in.
Yeah. So we
like I wouldn't think about the whole scamming thing, you know?
Did you forget the freaking password?
I did forget the password.
Wow.
Okay, well, the important thing is after you say the password, you have to get a new one.
What's your password?
Well, I guess she doesn't know, so I can say it.
No, don't say it because I might want to use it again. It might be so good that I want to use it.
It's not. I was 6 when we created it. We dropped me off at the YMCA daycare for a week.
I think we need to learn from these movies that we're talking about before it ends up being real.
Right, we need to watch them all. I think we need to have a home front movie night.
Where Hollywood goes, so goes the country because, you know, Project Mockingbird.
Predictive programming. Yeah. Project Mockingbird.
Project Mockingbird. Well, guys, it seems like such a short segment, but it's because we were in the studio for part of it. So, guys, I want to thank you for joining us here on the home front. We are going to close it out in prayer. And then when we pray, if each one of you would like to say a little something that you want to pray about. I know in previous episodes this week, we've had some heavy topics. So want to especially pray over our country. But will you join us at home, guys, as we pray? All right. I'll just get us started. These two down here have got to get it together. I'm not sure.
Who's the top and who's the bottom out?
Oh my gosh.
I decline comments.
We're praying, Lord, get control of that table down there. Father God, we just come before you today, and I thank you for this platform, and I thank you for our wonderful viewers. I thank you for these wonderful young people who sit at this table with us, Father God. We're thankful for their hearts to want to discuss topics so that we can get to the bottom of what's ailing our country and how to find possible solutions. Father, I pray that you go over our first responders throughout our nation, over our men and women who serve in the military, sometimes in areas of the world that we're not even aware of. Father God, I pray that you guard and protect those who are seeking office like Donald Trump, even people like the Flynn family from attacks that are coming from every angle. Lord, I pray that you would protect those who are submitting their will to your will, who want to step up and fill those positions and offices.
I want to thank you for watching over us. I want you to continue to watch over me and my family with some of the hardships that we're going through. Yes. And I just want to thank you for bringing us these days you do.
Thank you.
Lord, I want to pray for the children in our country. I feel like we're being attacked, and God, I just want to ask for your divine protection over spiritual attacks, spiritual warfare that's going on, because there's a lot of that. And Lord, I know that you are sovereign, you're powerful, and you can help us a lot if we just bend our will to yours, like Michelle was saying. So I pray for that.
Awesome.
And I pray for everyone on this panel. We say a lot of things that could get us in a lot of trouble. So I pray that as our day goes on and as we live our day-to-day lives, that you will protect us and send your angels over us, so that way you would protect, your little soldiers over here.
That's right.
And Father God, I just pray that you give everybody the gift of discernment, so that we know what is truth and what is not, what is for us and what is not, and guide our steps and strengthen our hands as we go out through life, and we walk through life, and we are the tip of the spear in our circle of influence. And Lord, I just ask that you encourage everyone to take that action step, to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because walking with you is uncomfortable, as we have to die to ourselves every day, Lord, so that we can be humble in your eyes. God, we just thank you for all of your blessings, for your wisdom, for your sacrifice, and for this nation. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Wow, I love that. I love the heart.
You didn't watch my shit, did you?
Guys, that's going to be it for us today for the home front. Catch us Monday through Friday every day on Patriot TV, 10 a.m. Plus, go to thehomefront.tv. Make sure you subscribe. You're going to see a whole lot more of us. Till next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.